little bit of a realization a couple days ago. And the thing is that I'm in my 20s, I'm in my mid-20s, I'm 25 years old. I'm supposed to be at the prime of my health, of my looks, of my life. This is the most exciting time of my life. But I've realized I've spent pretty much my whole life so far, at least 20 years of it, being insecure or worrying about what other people think. So if you say that you're gonna live until about your 80s, if you're lucky, you live to 80, I've spent a quarter of my life, and probably even more without this realization, that I've been insecure and I've been hating my body. So the one vehicle that I've been given, this is this awesome human body thing I got going on here, I've hated it my whole time, my whole journey. I've thought it was too fat. There was a period where it was too white, it doesn't tan well, it burns. If I go in the sun, I get my face full of freckles. My hair has never been blonde enough, so I've dyed it bright blonde. I wasn't born a natural redhead, so I dyed it red. I used to complain that my eyes weren't blue enough, to an extent where I actually used to put in bright blue contacts. I have bright blue eyes, and I used to not think they were blue enough. There's something in our head, or there's something telling us that we're not perfect, or we're not good enough, or we gotta fix every little thing about us. So it wasn't until I've had to deal with this thyroid issue, my hormone issue. I've put so much tension on how I look for my whole life, to a point where I couldn't leave the house because I was insecure, because I thought I was too ugly to walk out of the house. Something in my mind triggered that made me tell myself that every time I looked in the mirror, I would break into tears. I actually would put towels and I'd cover my mirrors because I couldn't look at myself. I would go for a run in the middle of the night, in the middle of winter at 3 in the morning, just so no one would ever see me run, because I felt so fat and overweight, although I never hit more than like 85 kilograms. But yet in my head, I was morbidly obese and I felt uncomfortable. And although it sounds so silly and it sounds so messed up and it sounds so ridiculous, the fact that someone can feel that bad about themselves, but it's so common, and there's so many females that are going through the exact same thing and feeling the same thing. And it wasn't until I realized that I've spent a quarter of my life caring about how I caring about things that I actually don't have much control over. So things with my weight and my thyroid, I eat so healthy. I have one of the healthiest bodies. If you checked, whenever I do blood work, I'm picture perfect health, although except for my thyroid, which is a genetic thing. Other than that, I'm so healthy. I have great skin. I didn't get the 100% genetic lottery, but I didn't fail either. I've got amazing hair, and I'm surrounded by so much love, and yet I still find things to complain about. So the whole purpose of this video was just to say that I had a realization, and I think a lot of females will as well. One thing I want to say is, girls, even guys with insecurities, you're not alone. But if you actually think about your insecurities, you'll realize they're really dumb. And it's because of media, it's because of other people around us. We've been told we must look a certain way, we must feel a certain way, we must talk a certain way, and it's really silly. So the first step is to realize that you are you, and that is completely okay. When people say that I'm an absolute weirdo, I take it as the biggest compliment. And when I call someone a weirdo, I say it's a good thing, because you don't want to be normal, you want to be weird. Weird is really cool. So I realized, so yes, I work on my body a lot. I want to get stronger. I have a lot of expectation for myself with my strength. That's because of how long I've been doing for, and I want to be strong. I want to be a representation of strength. So I do put a little pressure on myself. With my body, I am constantly trying to get leaner, but that's only because I'm trying to get healthier. I'm not exactly trying to look skinny. When I look in the mirror naked, I actually don't mind my body. I actually quite like my body. My body looks pretty good in clothes. Shopping for pants and jeans and tights can be a little bit annoying at times because it wasn't built for curves. But as long as I am healthy, as long as I'm going to try and live until my 90s, if I can make it to 100, which would be really cool, as long as I keep myself nice and healthy, then I am happy. But I kind of feel sad at the fact that I've spent so much of my life hating how I looked. So I was looking at photos of myself yesterday of what I looked like when I was 13, 14, 15, 16, and I'm just thinking about everything that I was insecure about. One of the biggest ones was smiling. Not once did I smile or show my teeth in any of those photos because I hated my teeth, I hated my smile. And now one of my favorite things to do as soon as the camera hits me is I give a big ass smile. So I realized that the insecurities that I'm probably going through now are going to sound just as dumb when I'm in my 30s, just as dumb when I'm in my 40s. And I need to start focusing on what makes me happy and what can I do to enjoy life, and stop thinking about why I can't do something and why something makes me feel bad. So a slight off-topic rant, but my point is that we only have one life, we have one existence. We get 80 years if we're lucky, and most of us have spent a good 20 years worrying about how we look because the media tells us to look a certain way. When I got clients now that complain about being curvy, I'm like, curvy is in right now. Having a booty is in right now. I have clients that are as tall as me, I'm 5'5", that complain and saying they're too short. I'm like, my height is amazing. So it really depends on how you see it. I got clients that says their legs are too short and stuffy, and I'm like, my legs are short and they're perfect for deadlifting because I'm so close to the ground. It really depends on how you look at your body and how you perceive it, not how other people perceive it. So some people would absolutely hate to have my skin complexion, but other people would love it. Some people would not like to have my eyes, other people would love it. So everyone obviously wants what they don't have. But my point is, you need to find a way to be happy with what you want. I've always not liked the fact that I have a bigger booty, I have bigger hips, and I don't have much of a chest. But as I've gotten older, I love the fact that I don't have big boobs. It is one of my favorite things because of the sports that I do. They don't get in the way. I can wear dresses and tops that don't require a bra. There's so many ways that you can look at things two ways. There's advantages and disadvantages to everything, but it's a matter of just choosing the advantages and choosing to look at all the good things.